Okay, built the new rolling cart for the Harbor Freight 7x12 metal cutting bandsaw. Actually built an extra frame so I'd be able to lift it under the casting table. Take the wheels and the step pads off, lift it up high enough with a low lever block and tackle, and my A-frame that I built about 5 years ago. I've had close to, if I remember right, 2,200 pounds with this thing I've lifted, and it's not made a noise. It's entirely made out of 2x4 lag bolts, obviously an eye bolt there, and some casters that are more than weighted for the load it can handle. The cart itself has got 4 swivel casters rated for 350-360 pounds a piece. Now of course this thing net weight is like 350, I believe, but the casters and the way this is designed, it spreads it all over, so there's not a single weight on the caster. Now to lift it so that the chains didn't push against it, I had to take off the hydraulic cylinder, so I'll put that back on here in a second, and then I'll wheel this out and get you some measurements. So give me a second to get this thing out of the corner here and back out front. Okay, here's the saw pulled back out. Put the hydraulic shock, reservoir, whatever I call it, back on. Now what I ended up doing is this model, I don't know if you can see it on that one. Let's see here. There we go. There's actually a hole there that's on all 4 corners. I'm guessing you can put the wheels on whichever side you want. Well, I plan on drilling out here and essentially attaching it to this base. Now originally the table height from the ground was between 22 and 23, I can't remember exactly. I just remember it was shorter than the red saw here. Let me get my tape measure out. The new one with the new lift on it is basically just a little bit over 33 3/4. By the time you count for the wheels and the angle iron, it's about 15 1/4. That is some 2-inch angle iron, 1/8 inch thick. Got the extension there so it's in vertical mode. You don't have the tip over issue, but I can't do that yet until I get those drilled out to make sure. The length, width is 13 inches. Length is 48.5 inches. So really, I mean, it doesn't take up any much more room than when the saw is actually in vertical mode. You can probably actually take this handle off down here now, because essentially you just push it by the saw itself. The only reason why you needed that handle before was to lift it up to get the feet up off the ground so you can move it. Now, you would think it would be possibly be a little tipsy, just back and forth. I've seen another guy, he made a stand for his, and he used basically 2-wheel dolly wheels, which of course have air in them. Well, he was getting a lot of movement in it because the tires are compressing. You can see with this one, I am shaking this thing. I'm not getting near the movement he was. And mostly what it is not shaking back and forth, is literally the casters are rolling. So in the end I may get the caster lock style, which won't be that too difficult to replace because they're actually a plate welded on and the plate is threaded. So essentially all I have to do is just take a bottle jack, probably lift it up a little bit, or a scissor jack, enough that I can get the caster out, put the new one on, tighten it down. Probably not going to paint this. I mean, I really don't get a whole lot of rust in the garage. I'll decide later. Not easy to get my A-frame unit out right now. So I'll do an update later and let you guys know how it goes.